Morning. My name is Alexiot. I'm a Raptor freak. It's Sunday morning, Boxing Day, and Raptors are playing a traditional Boxing game. So it's a little weird, and it's kind of crazy that they're going to play this game still today. The situation that's going on with the contact tracing on the team has the team pretty much decimated and missing for the game today. But I'm not as angry as I was the day of Chicago today that they're trying to go through this game, because in some ways I feel like this is a good challenge what they're trying to put in front of us. And it's going to be a weird game, and it could be a lot of fun to watch. And we do have actually a chance to win this game with what we're sending to Cleveland, which I think is completely crazy. I can tell y'all exactly who's going to be on which side as of right now. Considering how quick things change with tests and positives and stuff like that. For right now, what we've got right now, it's so crazy. I'm calling this team like the old A-Team show. Dun, 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 dun. This is like the A-Team for the Raptors, except it's like the G team, with half the team being G League players and half the team being our bench team that hasn't really produced a whole lot so far this season. So it's a little scary, because you've got, our main veteran that's playing for us tonight is Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher's been on the team the longest out of the guys that are coming in. He's the kind of guy that could actually be like our superstar tonight and be our main scorer, possibly. It may have to be like that. And then we've got Yuta, who was he was the team captain and the most important player on the Japanese Olympic team this summer. So maybe he can step up and find some leadership. And then we got Svi, who's had like different problems with consistency. He's had trouble with making his shot go down all the time, all kinds of stuff. This is the thing. These kind of games where these guys are just going to have to play and they're just dependent on, like, this is the craziest lineup of Raptors we're ever sending to a game ever in the entire history of the whole franchise. The game on Wednesday, if we had to play that would have been it. But today it's going to be this. The fact that we're going to go with four regular players and 4 G League players that have never played together to make our 8 today is insane. It's absolutely insane. But in some ways, it's kind of cool, because I kind of want to see this. Scraping the bottom of the barrel. What do you do when your back's against the wall, Raptors? How do you play? Especially when you've got guys that have been struggling this year, and they're going to have to play starter minutes. They're going to have to play like 40 minutes a game. Chris Boucher, Svi, Yuta Watanabe, and Delano Banton. Yes, Delano cleared protocols yesterday. We got a Christmas present in that our second-round rookie, he got cleared to be able to play today. He posted a picture on Instagram last night of him in his hotel room in Cleveland on Christmas Day night. And he's ready to go. He's ready to go. Delano's ready to go. But we get one back. We lose 2 going the other way, because Bonga and Birch both went into COVID protocols yesterday. So it's like, what the, it's like, this is really trying times. So this morning we signed our 4th hardship player, Daniel Oturu. And he's a cool, interesting player. He's 6'9". He's pretty much the same mold as Precious Achiuwa in some ways. He's Nigerian also. So we have another player of Nigerian origin who's on the team. And actually his body type and the way he plays is a bit similar to Precious. So, you know what, today to me feels like, and because we have Juwan Morgan, you didn't know Juwan Morgan has the same height and weight as OG. Like, they're the same height and weight, Juwan Morgan and OG Anunoby. It's very interesting to me. So this game today, in some ways, the Raptor team is going to be like that Seinfeld episode when Elaine goes out and finds Weird Jerry, Weird Kramer, and Weird George and starts hanging out with Bizarro Larry and all them. And Jerry and them. And I feel like that's what it's going to feel like today in a way. That this is going to be like Bizarro Raptors with these new guys coming in. I'm excited to see how these guys do, because these G Leagues guys, I wanted them to come in like G's. I want them to come in like, this is your chance, and this is your 8 Mile, this is your Eminem. You better lose yourself. You in the moment, kind of moment. You don't let it go. You need to go in there and take advantage of it, kind of moment for Tremont Waters and DJ Miller and Juwan Morgan and Daniel Oturu. because these are the 4 guys that clear the protocols. So they're going to be the 4 guys that show up with our 4 other guys. And it is crazy that it's our bench guys that are having trouble scoring. And they're going to have to break out of their slump somehow, some way. This game could get really ugly for a while tonight. Really, really ugly. Because Cleveland's talent isn't that great on the other side either, guys. Like, their best player is Darius Garland, who's their only starter from the last time we played him that's still standing. Like, the Twin Towers are both out with COVID protocols, Mobley and Allen. And then Sexton had surgery, so he's out for the season now. And they're missing other guys. Like Osman went on the COVID protocol yesterday, C.D. Osman. So Cleveland's missing guys too. Like, they're going to rely a lot on Kevin Love. So this Cleveland team is very similar to how it was maybe a year or so ago when it was just Kevin Love and a bunch of young guys that didn't really know what they're doing. So, but they've got Ricky Rubio also still. They have a little bit more of a veteran presence, but honestly, their talent isn't that overwhelmingly better than even our talent with this. I mean, sure, they have an advantage. It'll be at home. They'll have more of their regular rotation guys and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not super impressed. And I like the challenge for Nick Nurse and the 8 guys that are going there today to try and take it, because they could actually surprise people and win this game today. The Raptors could win this game with this ragtag crew. I'm telling you, I'm not lying, because I'm looking at both sides. It would have been way harder against Chicago and DeMar. But this team with Cleveland, I'll name them off right now. Let me just name who Cleveland has right now. They have Darius Garland. They have Ricky Rubio. They have Lauri Markkanen. They have that Wade guy who's not Dwayne Wade. He's Dean Wade or whatever. Taco Fell, Kevin Love. They have this Valentine kid. They've got Kevin Pangos, the Canadian. They've got Anderson. They've got Cornette, who they called up from the Maine Celtics. He's a 7'2" center. And then they've got Scott. So, they have some good players. They have good rotation players. It's going to be a tough test. And, our defense is going to be really weird tonight. Like, I don't know if we're going to have any defense. All right, let's see what you guys are saying this morning. I'm glad to see you guys today. I hope you guys had a great Christmas yesterday, a weekend so far. Gee, this is going to either be the cringiest game to watch or ends up exciting. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of both at times. I mean, I really want to see guys like Yuta and Delano and Chris just take that brass ring and go, man. I want to see a huge game from somebody that's a career game from one of these guys, something that shows, and maybe they break through. Like, this could be a breakthrough game for either guys that are on our team already or for one of these G League guys. Like, what if one of these G League guys come in and they score like 40 points and they're the most dominant guy on the court? I know that's not as likely, but it could happen. Some of these G League guys have really good talent, and they've been doing really well in the G League so far this season. That's part of the reason why they're getting called up. All right, let's see. Giovanni. Oturu actually gives the Raptors a center who plays in the post. He has good hands also. Yeah. I like what I've been hearing about Daniel so far. Like I said, he's one of these like undersized center guys who has strength and activity, but not necessarily really big. He is similar to Precious in a lot of ways. He's like Bizarro Precious that we're getting coming in here, and Jawan Morgan's like Bizarro OG. So it's going to be really weird to have these Bizarro players. Like, let's say Tremont Waters is Bizarro Fred. It's going to be really weird. And, I'm excited. I'm excited to see these youngsters, these G League guys get a chance in our jersey on the big stage and in a big game where they're going to get to play. If there's 8 guys showing up, everybody's playing. Oh, yeah, they are. And they're going to play a lot. And God forbid anybody gets foul trouble, or God forbid anybody else gets hurt, because it's going to be really hard to play a game with just 8 guys still, especially when 4 of them. And this is the thing. There's a lot of confusion about this rule. I was saying earlier this week, you have to have 5 main rosters. Well, apparently you have to have an even amount at least. Like, if you have 4, I guess the number is 4. You can have 4 main roster and 4 G League guys, and you're fine. Because obviously we're pushing that limit of that threshold right now. And it could happen again today, where something happens today with a test or something changes just a little bit and we lose one guy, and then all of a sudden we can't play this game tonight. So, it could be very similar to Wednesday, where we're doing a preview right now, but in like an hour or two, they postpone the game. because of just like one little thing that changes in the time between now and the game. So I'd like them to play because honestly, I'm at this point, I'm starved for basketball for the Raptors. And I want to see us play and just get this game out of the way. Even if we lose this game, so what? It may be really interesting and fun to see what I'm saying with these bench guys that got to step up, maybe break out their funk. And then you got these G League guys fighting for their lives, fighting for their livelihood to stay on the team. So something's going to give. Something's going to be, I think it's going to be amazing. Giovanni's saying for Cleveland, it's Garland, Markkanen, and Rubio. Yeah, and Kevin Love, too. We can't forget him. He's probably their most important player right now. And then Boucher, Svi, and Yuta, and Delano for us. Yeah, so Cornette is good. He wishes he was on the Raptors right now. Yeah, he's a big guy. He's 7'2", but I'm really starting to think that part of our MO and how we're building is undersized quickness at center. That's one of the ways we get our advantages is not having a big lumbering center that slows us down. That's just our MO now as a roster, on a franchise roster, is all our big guys are quick, mobile guys that may not be the tallest guys, but they're fast and quick and big. And that is, in some ways, that's what they want. I guess that's what Nick Nurse and Masai are talking about. It's like, we don't want any of these really big 7-foot guys because they're slower. So I think that's really why they're going and getting guys like DJ Miller and Oturu, guys that have more mobility, but they're still pretty big. And I don't know. Cornette has been tearing it up in G League, but we'll see what happens tonight. They really wanted him to replace those big guys because I guess their twin towers now are Taco and Cornette. So it's really going to be like 7'2", 7'6" guys out there playing against us tonight. Chris Boucher is going to have an interesting night down there with those guys. And plus, it'll be great to see our new big guys, see how they handle this guy's size. But if there's a lot of inexperience on both sides of the court, this is opportunity. And this may be that Nick Nurse, I know that he has half his team he's never really played or coached before. It's going to be weird to see how the synergy goes and see if we can actually get some nice natural fits and things that happen in the game. Because, anything can happen. That's the craziest thing. Like, I'm doing a preview right now, but I have no idea how things could shake out tonight with this roster makeup that the Raptors have tonight, because these guys are unknowns with the way they're going to work with us. It's so crazy. Giovanni, Precious is faster, but he doesn't play the post or pump fake. Oturu is slower, but he plays post and pump fakes. Okay. So Oturu probably will draw some fouls and take some contact, and hopefully he's able to finish through contact also. I want to see him just solidly rebound and just seal the down low. If he can seal the down low and just agitate the big shooters down low, then I'll be really happy with him. I don't care if he can shoot. I don't care if he can do a whole lot of other stuff. Just can he do the stuff down low we need defensively and rebounding wise? That's what I want to see from him specifically. Now, somebody else out of the other guys like Miller, I'd like to see him do some more scoring and stuff like that because he's been around a little longer. Waters, obviously, we want to see him take care of the ball and not turn the ball over and distribute the ball as best as he can as a new guy on the team. But also, I'd like to see him take some initiative and get some aggressiveness with his scoring, like whether it's going to the basket or just taking shots. Go for it, Tremont. You have the green light, and you need to go and take your brass ring for this game and get your chance to maybe be on a regular team. I mean, it's a long shot chance for you. I'm not going to lie. But if you get some shine in this game, it may not be with the Raptors, but you may get a chance to get to stick in the NBA on a team if you really take this chance to get going. And then, the other guys, Juwan Morgan, I'd like to see him be a Swiss Army knife kind of guy, play really good defense. If he scores and he does stuff like that, that's great. And I know he can because I saw him play against the 905 a couple weeks ago, and he was tearing us up. He's got mid-range. He's got good down low and stuff like that. So hopefully we can see Morgan play similar to what OG plays like. Bizarro OG, Bizarro Precious, Bizarro Fred. These are guys that are coming out there. I don't know what DJ Miller is. DJ Miller is a little bit different than anybody else we have on this team. And he's kind of be an interesting X factor. Like he's very similar to Claxton for the Nets that we've seen recently. He's just this really tall, lanky guy that has some skill offensively. So I'm really interested to see Miller because I want to see him have some success tonight for us for sure. Alistair, what's your opinion on our new centers? Well, let's see them. Let's see how they do physically up front with some big centers still on the other team. Cleveland's hoarding those big centers, those over 7-foot guys. They got them. And, there's going to be some fun matchups. I was looking forward to the Yuta versus Osman matchup, but Osman's out now. So maybe it's Yuta versus Markkanen now, which is going to be very interesting. Markkanen wasn't playing in the game that we played against Cleveland before, and he offers some really interesting length and offense to the Cavs. Like, I thought he was really good for the Bulls, and he's an interesting fit on this team. So I'm really curious to see how the Cavs look, because the Cavs' best players really are out, just like our best players are out. And it's going to be really weird. All right, Darren, good morning, man. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. All right, I'll run down the list right now. This is who's playing tonight for the Raptors: Delano Banton, Svi Yuta Watanabe, Chris Boucher. And then our G League guys are Tremont Waters, Juwan Morgan, DJ Wilson, and Daniel Oturu. For the Cavs, they've got Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, Lauri Markkanen, Dean Wade, Taco Fall, Love, Valentine, Pangos, Anderson, Cornette, and Scott. Actually, I forgot about Scott. Scott's a dangerous guy too. And he was wasn't he the one that was on the Philly team back in the day when we played in 2019 against the Sixers and the shot series? I think Scott was on that team with them. So it's going to be interesting. That's who's playing, Darren. And honestly, the matchup is not totally fair for us. But you know what? There is a light in the door that I can see us winning this game, even with this ragtag crazy lineup that we got sent to Cleveland. Once again, they sent the barest minimum of staff all around this. They usually send like 70 to 80 people on these trips, and they only sent like 20 people on this trip, including players. So it's crazy. It's such a crazy time, and in some ways, this has got to inspire the guys that, like, look, you can look around. There's only 3 other regular teammates that are with you right now. And it's really interesting. There's these bench guys that have been struggling so much. These skinny bench guys too. It's like Delano, Boucher, Yuta. These are like our skinniest dudes. So it's going to be really weird game tonight. I'd like to see Delano bust out and have a really powerful game tonight too. Like, show something tonight, Delano. Have some pride for your city. Carry your country in Cleveland tonight, and just do some awesome things. I just want to see, like, wouldn't it be awesome if Delano Banton had a triple-double tonight? That's very, very possible. With all the minutes and the things that he might have to do tonight, he may have a triple-double, because obviously he's probably going to be our starting point guard. So, and I'm so glad he cleared and we have him available, because, oh my gosh, we need to hear more of these names coming off the list and being available. It's like, I don't even name who's on the list right now because it's way bigger than the list of guys who are available. So it's like, list the guys that are available instead of the guys who aren't available, because you'd be talking all day if you're talking about who's not available right now. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. I can't even believe this. Giovanni Sanaturo is a center that boxes out. I like this. No second chance points tonight. If that guy does an amazing job with that kind of stuff, I mean, oh my gosh, that's what we need on this team right now, is defensive rebounding and just getting your big guy and getting your body on him and between him and the rebound and making sure you get the ball, because that's what we're going to need tonight from these G League guys. They're coming in. We're going to need them to be scrappy, aggressive, and energy. Lots of energy, and just go crazy. Just have fun and kick ass. That's what I want to see from these 4 youngsters coming in with the guys that we have already. Let's keep going. Darren, be nice to see a game over the holidays. Hope it's entertaining. Yeah, I'm sick of not watching games either. I mean, I know there was all kinds of NBA games yesterday. Interesting stuff happening on the Christmas Day games with Kemba returning to the lineup and getting a triple-double. LeBron losing to Brooklyn taking care of business with them. And then, like, the battle between Golden State and Phoenix yesterday. All kinds of fun games and different stuff happening in games yesterday. The NBA does a good job. Even with this pandemic and guys missing, they made it an exciting Christmas Day still. And good job, NBA. You know, it was tough. Let's see. Svi needs a 96, 100% shooting night. He is capable of shooting lights out. Yeah, this is an opportunity. They're not going to get benched. They're going to have to play. They're going to have lots of room for error, and they may have a lot of error for a bit, but this is going to be like maybe a minefield of folly for both teams on both sides, and it's really going to be who can make the game look the best out of the two groups going out there. And in some ways, they do have an advantage because they have a lot of their guys that are regular players that have been playing together already this season, and we don't. But honestly, I like this kind of challenge. I want to be the underdog, and I want to have at least a chance in the fight. And I feel like we have it. And, maybe they do postpone this game, and it may be the fairer thing to do in a lot of ways is to postpone this game because it is ridiculous who we have available today. It is really ridiculous. But even if we don't, this is what we do. We take the challenge. We get slided. We get Canada discounts. We do different things like that. This is how we earn our character. This is how we build respect is we go to Tampa. We play a whole season unfairly like that. We go and we play in Cleveland today with only 4 of our regular players. Yeah, we do stuff of legend. That's the things that they used to talk about in the early NBA days when they would have to play. We won this game with 4 players. Nick Nurse put 4 players on the court, and they won anyway against 5. Oh, my gosh. And that'll be in this day in NBA history. That kind of bullshit. Like we're going to – this is a good test. And I'm like, this could be the thing that lights a fire under our bench's ass and finally gets them out of their hump. Their funk of how they're not being able to score any points as a bench collectively. Put your bench out there as a starting lineup and put them out there where they have to play and get it going. And then maybe this will carry over into like more productive, smaller minutes when we get everybody back. That kind of confidence can grow quick from a game like today. And I want to see that for sure. Let's see. Taco started in that last game. Yeah, this is how crazy it is. The Cavs are starting Taco Fall, the giant among giants, the man who is just like, I don't know, like, let's see how slow he is. Let's see if we can capitalize on him. We didn't get Romano Gill and bring him up to match up against him because Romano Gill's too slow, honestly. So we've got our new guys and we've got our bench guys. And that's who we got tonight. It's going to be fun. Stanley Johnson made the most of his Lakers minutes last night. He hustled more than the Lakers starters did. Yeah, a lot of people were talking about how this is a dream for Stanley to play for the Lakers and that he got to fulfill it on Christmas Day yesterday and all that good kind of stuff. Yeah, sure, he's a bright spot for that team, but that team is still lazy and they're still going to get their ass beat. And, the Nets didn't even have Durant yesterday. They had Harden leading them and they beat them. So I'm proud of your team, Starscream. I'm not going to lie. I'm proud of your team for taking care of the Lakers. In fact, anybody who beats the Lakers, I'm happy with them. In fact, I was so tickled pink last week that the Spurs managed to go into Staples Center, no longer called that, guys, and beat the Clippers and the Lakers in their last games at the Staples Center. That's fucking fantastic. I love the Spurs. They're my West Coast team, and they're underachieving, and they're very similar to us. Like on the other side, they're in that same spot in the play-in at the 10th spot, and they've been underneath for a while, and they're battling their way back up. And they really have a totally different team since DeMar left. DeMar was such a focal point for them last year, and now they've got to kind of find their new identity, and they're having a lot of success still. And I love Jakob Poeltl. I follow him closely, and I always hope the Spurs win. And that was awesome. They're changing the name of that building from the Staples Center to the Crypto.com Arena. Like, it's going to be called the Crypt, guys. They're going to start calling the LA Arena the Crypt. And that's because that's where old people go to die, guys. That's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, for both teams. Yeah, you want to let your players be GM? That's what's going to happen. You're going to get a bunch of old Hall of Famers who can't play no more and playing in a crypt. Oh, yeah, the Crypt. Oh, my gosh. It's so crazy how naming rights with arenas have gotten like this, where the arenas have the stupidest fucking names now. Like Smoothie King Arena, that was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Now we're going to have Crypto.com Arena for one of the most important buildings in the NBA. What happened to the Great Western Forum, guys? What happened to the Boston Garden? These are real names, not this fucking bullshit, and I still call our building the Air Canada Center. in a lot of ways, I still call it that because I really think that this, in a way, this whole thing of naming buildings and spending such an obscene amount of money just to rename buildings is kind of fucked up and indicative of bullshit inequality in this world today. Anyway, I won't go any further on this one. All right, let's keep going. Starscream, good luck today, guys. Too bad you aren't playing the Lakers. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think that our team today could give the Lakers a good run. The Lakers that are playing right now. Oh, yeah, they're just so lazy right now. Yeah, good job, Nets, taking care of business. Honestly, I looked at the score from time to time, and I didn't watch the game, but it looked like you guys handled them pretty much throughout the whole game, and they really weren't much of a threat to come and beat you guys in many ways. Like maybe a little bit at time to time, but for the most part, y'all handled them really well. And it's interesting that it was Harden. Harden had to be the leader and do it for your team, and that's actually bodes well for you guys because Durant has been so essential in my minds for y'all's success. But then again, it is the Lakers. We will put it that way. Darren, like a lockout team. Man, it's crazy. I'm a fun guy. I really, really need a Raptors game today. Oh, my God. I think we're all like this. As much as we think it's unfair that we're going to have to play with just 4 of our regular players on the team, we all are starved for basketball. The last time we played was the game I went to last Saturday against Golden State. And that was a glorious game. Even if it wasn't the real Golden State Warriors, and there was a lot of problems, we won the game, and it was just basketball to watch, entertain us, and stuff like that. I feel like that is really important. It has been tough this week having these games postponed, and we love this. We want to see this. I want to react. I want to do previews. I want to watch the game with Stevie Roots later. He's supposed to come over and watch the game with me on Boxing Day, and we're gonna watch this crazy ass Raptor team play the Cavs today. Oh yeah! So it's like you're torn. I want to watch basketball, but also this game should probably be postponed. So it's a really tough time and crazy time for Raptor fans right now. It's like, I'm torn. I want to watch them play. But then again, shouldn't we be more healthy before we start playing again? I don't know. Net C team looked good and disciplined. Okay, so G was watching your game yesterday, Starscream, and that they looked really good when they beat us with just Kevin and those guys. So kudos to Steve Nash. I got to give more credit to Steve Nash than I thought I would. I was really down on him last year because, he's a rookie coach. Oh, they think he's going to be so good and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, I like Steve personally. Steve's a good friend. Not a good friend, but somebody was a friend of mine back in the day. And, he's somebody that's a really nice person. But I've always thought that these really good NBA players, when they become coaches, sometimes they just don't become good coaches because they have such a high standard for themselves that they put it on their team. This is why Michael couldn't coach. This is why Magic was not a good coach. Or Larry. Larry was a good coach, but he couldn't take it after a while. He was just like, our players are lazy and they don't do as much work as I would do. So they don't want to coach. But Steve's obviously able to do it and balance it, and he's doing a good job. Now, he does have some good assistant coaches around him also. They're really helping him. I think D'Antoni's with him there. So, he's got some good help. But I'm really proud of Steve Nash. He's doing a good job. He's definitely not been a failure as a coach. He's been a real success. So let's see where you guys are at. Anselm, good morning. Bam! Smash the like button. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Talk about it with your grandma if she loves the Raptors. Oh, yeah, we love the Raptors. I'm a fun guy. Lakers just really suck. I can't wait to play them. I know. It would be a travesty if we finally get to play them and we don't have any of our players still or something stupid like that. I want to play our real team against the Lakers. I want to get that beat down. Oh, yeah, just like everybody else is getting on them. I really, 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 really do. And I know that they're coming up. They're going to be coming up, I think, next month or something like that. So we're going to need to hopefully be all healthy and rolling again by that time. And that's the thing. At least we're getting this. Hopefully will be the only time during the whole season where we have this kind of issue with a lot of guys out like this. And it's early enough in the season that we can get this out of the way and get rolling for the playoffs. Because that's the thing that fucked us up last year, is that this happened too close to the playoffs. And we really could never recover within the month that we had coming up to last year. So, all right, let's see. Andrew, let's Go! Yeah, with the new guys. I was a little, I don't know if yeah, okay, there's G League guys there too. Let's go. It's tough because it's like half the team, they don't know each other. They know guys on the other team more. Juwan Morgan was playing with Cornette on the main Celtics for the G League season so far, so he's more synergized with their center than with our team because he's been playing with him more. It's gonna be really weird. It's gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Who cares? In some ways, if we lose this game, so what? It's like in some ways we expect to lose this game just because of our roster. So if we do have any kind of success or any kind of fun things happen tonight, that's great. That's great. But in some ways, we need to look at this game as kind of like the first 5 years of Raptor basketball, how the games used to go like that. So it's like, ooh, let's cross our fingers and hope for a good effort and see what happens. So let's see. Let's keep going. Darren, yes, let's go. I'm a fun guy. If we keep Wilson and Oturu, we're automatically a playoff team now. That's an interesting thing to say. What about Morgan? Morgan's the one I'm really interested in just because he has a past relationship with OG. And like I said earlier in this stream, he has the same exact height and weight as OG Anunoby, Juwan Morgan. That's a weird thing. Yeah, they're the same height and weight. Very strange. Okay, let's keep going. Ansem, I like that. The Crypt. Yeah, I mean, these name changes are so weird. And usually they don't happen right in the middle of the season. I guess they're doing it because it's the end of the calendar year. Switch it from Staples Center to the Crypto.com Center. I don't know what they're even calling it exactly. Crypto.com Arena, Crypto.com like Catacombs, Crypto.com Mausoleum. I don't know. What is this place they're calling it now? It's still the Skydome. That's right. Anselm just said it. It's still the Skydome. It's not Rogers Center. It's still the Skydome. That's right, baby. Oh, yeah. Marlon Toby, the Crip, like Notorious Gang in LA. Yeah, the Blue Crips. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to start wearing the old Lakers blue. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it could be like that. Yeah, they should have thought about that. Doesn't LA have problems with Bloods and Crips? And now they're going to call the arena the Crip? That's anyway. I know things are better there, but there's still a problem, with gangs and stuff like that there. Come on now. All right, Starscream. Sure, you guys can beat them. Just let Westbrook shoot. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes these high usage guys that are supposedly so good hurt their team so much. And throughout the history of the NBA, there's been guys like this. Like, honestly, on the down low, Allen Iverson, for all of his greatness and all these different things, he's a similar kind of player. That his high usage and also the fact that these guys miss so many shots, they take a lot of shots and they miss a lot of shots, really hurts the team. And I think Russell is that kind of player too. I mean, Steph Marbury was kind of that player too. That point guard that is really scoring mentality, takes a lot of shots. He detracts from the team on the down low. This is part of the reason why Iverson never really won big, is because of this. Iverson individually, amazing talent, amazing player, did all kinds of different things. But as a team player, he never really got that far. He got that one finals appearance after he played the Raptors in 2001 against the Lakers, and they handled them really, really easily. Actually, I think they swept them, in fact. So let's see. Darren, hold your Bitcoin. Fuck the crypto. It's such a weird name. It's such a weird name. But I guess that's all they want, is just the name in the forefront. They just want it in our minds. They just want people to have to say, I'm going to Crypto.com Arena. So, oh, crypto. Oh, you just made me think I want to buy crypto because you just said the arena's name. What the fuck? It's like, it's so weird. It's such a weird name. It's such a weird name. Staples Center sounded good. You didn't even immediately think of the Staples store that it's named after. It just sounded like it made sense. Staples Center. And now it's going to be some fucking like really hard to say Crypto.com Arena. It's really weird. Really weird. All right. I smell a finals rematch with Golden State. This is what Alistair is saying. Ooh. You mean with us? I don't know if it'll be this year, but it could be in coming years. Yeah, it could be in coming years. And that would be Whoa, if it's like us with Golden State and like the way Cleveland was with Golden State a couple years ago, that'd be fantastic. What a great 2020 decade it would be. If it's Golden State on the West and the Raptors on the East for the two big powerhouses in the NBA, ooh, that could be some exciting basketball. Oh, yeah, it could. Yes, Stevie Roots. Let's see if he shows up, Darren. Honestly, he can be a little flaky, especially with the way things are right now with lockdowns and things are kind of if the weather's not too good out there, he might just stay home. But I'm hoping he'll show up and we can watch this game and get loud together, watching this crazy ass Raptors team, this ragmatag G team, the G team. That's what I'm calling them, the G team. All right, I'm a fun guy. Oturu and Wilson both block out. Finally, some big man depth. Yeah. Let's see if somebody sticks. Somebody from this group statistically could stick and knock one of these other guys that have a hold on a spot on the team out of here somehow, some way. I don't know how it'll work. It could just be that as soon as our guys come back, you're like, you're no longer needed. Sorry, bye, guys, kind of thing also. So I don't know. Let's just see how it all plays out. Let's see if some guys make it really hard for us to make a tough decision on how they're playing and how well they're doing with us. So we'll see. Darren says Fred VanVleet will be a great coach. I don't think he's in Cleveland. I don't think he's anywhere near where the Raptors are going to be tonight. I think that he's at home with his kids, and hopefully he's okay. And hopefully he really doesn't have any kind of real symptoms or anything like that. Because I was thinking about this, and you know what? It isn't that they were just near somebody that COVID. These guys have tests that came positive. And it's such a weird thing right now. Like I was saying, my niece has it right now. And she's been tested regularly. And like, yeah, she's showing positive, but her symptoms are very mild. And they're not like, she's still just running around and like fine, like and stuff like that. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these guys. I just hope that they're safe and they're feeling better and they're coming back quicker than sooner than later, because that's we need all these dudes back. I mean, it's nuts when you look at who's out for us right now. All these teams in the league have had to deal with this. The Nets have dealt with it, or Orlando, Chicago. A lot of these teams have dealt with this, but we're dealing with it like on the whole, like I'd say like 95% of our main team is out right now. So it's really bad. All right, let's keep going. Darren's going to be Darren. I think you're right. I think Fred, he's going to be a good coach eventually. But then again, he's also said he may not want to coach because it's a lot dealing with the other players. It's going to get frustrating. So maybe he's good as a coach, as a player, but he may not want to be a coach after the NBA. I think I've heard him say that. So we'll see. I think Kyle, the same thing. I think Kyle's the same opinion. Like he doesn't want to be a coach just because he knows dealing with the younger players would be really frustrating. So, but we'll see. They may get a really good offer, and somebody may want them to be, and they may change their mind. I don't know. Okay, yeah, and I hope he does. If he's going to coach somewhere in the NBA, I'd love for him to coach the Raptors. That just makes sense. That Fred VanVleet, a former player, becomes a coach of our team, like Kyle. If Kyle Lowry was the coach of the Raptors in like the next 15 years, that would be really interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. It also may hurt us. I don't know. There may be still some of the refs left around. Let's see. Wilson and Oturu solved our center issue. Yeah, let's see first. Let's see how these guys do. And plus, listen, we're going to be playing against supersized centers today. Centers that are like 7'6", 7'2". So we're still going to look short against this team, even though we got some new height. And I mean, it's true. Wilson is our tallest player on our team now. He's 6'10", almost 7 foot, and nobody else on our team is listed over 6'9". So Wilson is our tallest player right now currently. Anselm, I can't wait to see all these new players and see what we got. Yeah, it's almost like Boxing Day, Christmas. It's like, ooh, let's open up the goodies and see the new players on our team. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm excited about it too. I want to see if any of these guys can really do some amazing things, because this is the thing. These guys could be really good talents, borderline almost NBA talents, and they're just that close. And this is a motivation day. This is a day where you come and you shine. Like I said, this is Eminem. This is your moment. You don't want to blow, kind of shit. So I want to see what these guys bring tonight. They could be really special. It could be a really special night for somebody on the Raptors tonight. So a career night in all kinds of different ways for somebody. Who knows? It could be Yuta. It could be Delano. It could be Svi. It could be Chris. It could be one of the G League guys. But somebody's going to have to get points. Somebody's going to have to get stats. And it'll be really interesting to see who fills up the sheet. So, okay, let's see. Marlon, vote Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr. for All-Star team. Yeah, the All-Star voting started yesterday. It's really good that they have it where you can just put the hashtags and that counts as a vote. They'll find it. So if you hashtag NBA All-Star and then hashtag Fred VanVleet, that's a vote for him. So you don't even need to go to their website and do the actual voting the way that we always have through their website. You can just hashtag it. And I love that we have a whole nation and a whole big part of the world behind us that'll just hashtag the shit out of our players like this. Like Fred was trending on Twitter last night. Immediately after All-Star voting opened, Fred VanVleet was the trending name on there. And I went and clicked on it, and it's just a ton of people showing love towards Fred, saying vote for Fred for All-Star. So he's already got a shit ton of votes. And I'll be very curious to see what these numbers look like. And the first time they show the numbers for the All-Star voting, that if Fred is up near the top in the guard voting for us, for the East. So I'm really interested to see that. And I know that Raptors Nation and people are, if they're going to pick just one guy is Fred, they're going to push him to the top. And I know that he's going to get on that team somehow, some way. We're going to need an all-star no matter what this year, I think, NBA. So you're going to need to just give us at least one. Just because, we've had a hard time, and you need to take care of your Canadian market. You need to take care of your people up here. And if you want us to watch the All-Star break, the easiest way to get Raptor fans to watch is put a Raptor in the All-Star game. All right? So do it. All right. Okay, so Ansem, who's not playing today? I would tell you who's not playing today, but I can tell you who's playing in a shorter time than who's not playing. So we've got Svi, we've got Yuta, we've got Delano Banton, and we've got Chris Boucher. These are our only 4 regular guys. Kem Birch and Isaac Bonga both went into tracing yesterday on Christmas. They both went into contact tracing yesterday. And this morning we signed our 4th hardship exemption. We got the other 3 guys over the last 2 days. So we've got Tremont Waters, we got Jawan Morgan, we got DJ Miller, and we got the new guy this morning, Daniel Oturu. And he's another center. So it's going to be a really weird makeup to the team. And everybody that I didn't mention, that's who's out. It's pretty much everybody that I did not mention just now is out for us. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Gee, they need to allow longer rosters this season so teams are not scrambling for 10-day contracts all season. Yeah, I was saying this at the beginning of the year. Why are we cutting Reggie Perry and Freddie Gillespie? Why can't we just have a longer roster and just keep these guys on the team for longer? We could still have Sam Decker right now or something like that. It's stupid. It's stupid. They should have had the foresight to see that this was going to happen this year, and they should have been ahead of the curve and are ready for this shit by saying you guys can all have 20-man rosters this year. You guys can have 20-man rosters, and you can have more G League players jumping back and forth. In fact, you can have 5 guys that are two-way players. 5 guys, they're two-way players that can jump back and forth between the 2 leagues. That way you can keep guys playing no matter what. And then if there is some issue with COVID like there is now, you have guys to fill in that are familiar with your system and actually have been playing with your team. And there's some cohesion. And that's the dumb non-foresight of this, is that now we have mystery players, strangers, guys showing up that have no familiarity with playbooks or systems or anything like that, and they're having to play all of a sudden like what's going to happen today. And if it looks real ugly, that's what we'll have to blame, is if it looks really, really ugly with a lot of turnovers and guys just don't look like they're on the same page. That's obviously what it is that these guys have never fucking played together, and you just threw them together all of a sudden today. So it's gonna be so weird and interesting. It's gonna be so weird. Darren, start voting. Yes, vote for Fred VanVleet. Vote for OG. Vote for Pascal. I always just vote for all Raptors. I see who's on there, and I put 5 Raptors in there, and I vote for all Raptors every single day. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the West, I pick the former Raptors. I go and get DeMar. I go and get Kawhi. I go and get Serge. I go get Jakob. I go and get the other guys on the other side that are all old Raptors. That's how I've always voted in the All-Star. For decades now, I've done that. I've always voted for former Raptors and just Raptors. And that's just how I vote. I'm so biased. I really am. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. 20. Yeah, 20-man rosters is what they needed. They really did. Andrew, yeah, my brother and his family might be out on health and safety protocols too. That sucks, man. I feel bad for you, man. This does suck. At least, all right, listen, at least we know that Omicron and the way that the COVID has been going is it's become less and less deadly. It's just that they need to understand it and need to control the passing around of it and stuff like that. But I hate to hear that, Andrew. I don't want anybody to get this stuff or have to deal with it or have any kind of worries about this and stuff like that. And God forbid anybody has any other health issues or serious problems, because this is not the time in the age of the world that have health problems and need to be having surgery or emergency stuff at the hospital right now. It's not the time. No, it isn't. So it's like in your own life, even if you're healthy and you're real strong, you don't want to do any really risky, dangerous shit, because if you mess up yourself on an ATV or something like that, you know, it could lead to really bad things in the hospital. So it used to be Americans just stayed away from the hospital because of healthcare costs. But now you got to stay away from the hospital also because you know what? You may not get help, or you may, bad things could happen also. So yeah, I hate to hear that, Andrew. I hate to hear it when anybody is getting any kind of positive test or any kind of issues with COVID right now in any kind of ways, like whether it's touching your life by taking a family member or anything like that to anyone. Because last year around this time, I was hearing different friends. Like I had a friend whose mom died just before Christmas last year of COVID. I have a friend whose brother died of COVID just before Christmas last year. So that shit is real. And I've seen people that have been affected by in really deep ways. And it sucks. It's sad and it sucks. And the sad thing is a lot of this stuff that's happening now could be avoided if people would just be more responsible and do the right things that we need people to do as a team to get past all this. So I hope that they get negative tests and everything goes really good for you, Andrew. I really do. 15 players are not enough, NBA. We need 20-man rosters right now. We need more fluidity between the G League and the main league, and we just need that. We needed it right from the beginning because we knew this shit was going to happen, that there's going to be outbreaks and stupid shit like this happening. You should have planned for it better, Adam Silver. And, you may need to think about it for next year because this may be still an issue next year also. And man, doesn't it make you remember the old NBA where this kind of shit wasn't happening? How much you appreciated and loved that kind of stuff, and it was just regular injuries where you miss guys. And this period of time has just been so strange for sports and what it's done to sports in some ways. Because like in some ways, I'm glad we got our championship before the pandemic, because there are some weird asterisks in some things that have happened because of the pandemic with different talent levels and different things and teams and different places and stuff like that have affected the outcomes and different things that have happened. Like last year, that was a big outcome for us. The COVID did affect our outcome for our season last year. So it's weird how that's happening with the league, and they need to take this into account and allow for a longer roster. I really believe that. I think you guys and I are all on the same page with this. Okay, their symptoms are mild mostly. Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Rebounding will be interesting tonight, G. Raps don't have one starter. These youth are going to have to go all out to prove themselves. Vote Barnes for All-Star, too. Yeah, vote for Scotty Barnes to be All-Star. We know if at least he's going to be in that Rising Stars game. For sure. They can't slight Scotty Barnes from being in the rookie game, like they've done to our rookies in the past, where they slight good rookies of ours and they don't even get in that game. Well, he's going to be in this game because he's a rising star. There is no doubt about it. And they're going to want him in this game. They're going to want him in this game because he's going to be people are going to want to see him in this game. And if he doesn't make the Rising Stars rookie game, that would be messed up. But yeah, let's see if he can make it to the regular All-Star team. But he's going to have to get voted in as a starter, guys, by like a mass populace of NBA fans, because he won't get put in by the coaches on the bench. So he's going to have to make the starting team if he's going to make the All-Star team. So everybody's going to have to vote him in as one of the top forwards in the East. And that's a tall order, man. That's a real tall order for him, considering he's going to be going up against guys like Giannis and other great forwards in the Eastern NBA. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's very likely he'll be on the Rising Stars team. But who knows? He may be an All-Star very shortly in his NBA career. I just don't know if it'll be this year, especially with this stoppage and stuff like that right now. If he had a head of steam and he was really wowing left and right, then maybe he could get some going into that, but I don't think so. I don't think this year. I don't think this year because he'd have to start. They're not going to vote him in onto the bench. He's going to have to get voted in by the fans to be able to be on the All-Star team. I really believe that. Yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight. Really interesting. Delano could get a double-double. He could get a triple-double. Honestly, Delano could get a triple-double. I know I did my trivia the other day on all the players that have gotten triple-doubles for the Raptors. There's only been 10 players in the history of the Raptors that have ever gotten a triple-double. And let's see if Delano can add number 11 tomorrow or tonight or any of these guys. Like, honestly, Yuta could be capable of a triple-double tonight. You know, Svi could honestly get a triple-double, really, honestly, if he has the right things happen tonight. So it's going to be interesting. I'd like to see one of these guys they're all going to have to produce. And one of them's going to have to produce way out of their ass, more than they've ever shown, for us. I mean, Chris has had big games in the past and done amazing things for us. But the other guys, we haven't really seen them ever have huge, huge games before. And it'll be interesting to see if these guys can flirt with 30-point games, maybe one or two of them. We'll see. Let's keep going. Yeah, I hope that Delano has 10-plus assists also. He should, honestly. If he gets a lot of minutes and he's such a good distributor, it's going to just be the familiarity with the other players and making sure that they get the good open shots and then making it. If he's got to pass to Tremont Waters, and we don't know if Tremont is going to be good for a shot, that's the kind of stuff I'm worried about. So, yeah, they're saying they were saying you need 5 regulars to play, but they changed the rule, Darren. It wasn't actually ever the rule. It was 5 players for sure to be able to play. Basically, now they're saying, because this has changed. Like I said on Wednesday, we want to know what the rules are for postponing so that we know that it's fair for everyone. And I thought the rule was you have to have at least 5 regular rotation players, but you don't. Apparently, you just have to have an even amount between the rotation players. So if you do the math, you have to have 8 players to play the game. That means you have to have at least 4 rotation players. So we can do it with just 4 rotation players. That's what the NBA is saying, and that's messed up. Blake Murphy was explaining it all yesterday. He's like, I don't understand where this 5 minimum thing came from. Well, that's what Josh Lewenberg was saying on sports on his Twitter. He was saying that it had to be 5 minimum, but I think he was just guessing because honestly, they've never really been clear about these rules, and I think they're making them up as they go. They're just being half-assed. So they're trying to make it so that you guys can play with 4 of your regular players with 4 G League players. That's 8. But if you had 5 G League players and 3 regular players, then that would be not right, and you would have to postpone that. So the threshold is actually 4, Darren. As crazy as that fucking sounds, we just have to have 4 regular players to be able to play, and they don't have to be starters. They could be our 4 worst bench guys. It could be. It's so crazy. It is so fucking crazy. Honestly, it's so weird. I'm a fun guy. Siakam could be back to make 5 regular if it's not postponed. Okay, see, this is what I have not heard that there's a possibility that somebody could be cleared by tonight. Siakam shows up tonight all of a sudden. This is going to make this game a lot different. Then we're going to start looking like the Brooklyn Nets against us a week or so ago with Kevin Durant leading a ragtag team of, Patty Mills, Blake Griffin, and then a bunch of rookies and G League guys. That could happen this time too. If Pascal makes a dramatic comeback today, because he was the one who went on protocols with Delano, and Delano's off as of yesterday. So it could be possible that Pascal gets cleared this afternoon and that he's playing tonight also. I would love that. I want more news of guys clearing protocols and just getting added to the list all of a sudden, because it's going to be it's going to help us no matter what. We can start getting names back before the game tonight. It's going to help us no matter what. Oh, yeah, it'll help us. Pascal Siakam shows up tonight. I would love that, fun guy. I hope you are exactly right and that this happens. But the one thing is, I don't know if he's traveled there. This is the kind of thing where he could clear protocols here in Toronto and pass a test, and then they have to jet him to Cleveland quickly right before the game, and he's going to show up dramatically right in time for the game kind of stuff. And I could see them doing that. Because Cleveland's not that far from Toronto. It's a very quick flight, and they have their own private jets at their disposal for whenever they want to go do stuff like this. So if they want to shoot a player or 2 from Toronto at the last minute through clearing COVID protocols to play in this game tonight, they will do it. They will do it, even if they didn't travel there last night. I'll bet you they will. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it said, no, you don't need 5, Darren. You don't need 5. They're going to let them play tonight. If we just have Boucher, Svi, Yuta, and Delano, that's enough for the NBA. They'll play with those 4 guys with the 4 G League guys. So the rule is actually not 5. It's actually 4. You have to have 4 regular players, and then you can have 4 G League hardship players, and that's enough to play. So we're going at the very bare minimum, 4 regular players. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. That's what they're saying, that we can play with just 4. So I know it's crazy. Let's see, Fun Guy, you're saying more about this? Yeah, Siakam is GTD, meaning he's either already been cleared or they're anticipating he's cleared, but he never traveled. So I don't think so. Well, like I said, it's a short flight. If he did clear, they're going to get him there because this could be between a win and a loss. If you get Pascal Siakam involved in this game tonight, he's obviously going to be the best player on the court, and he could actually operate and take over and win this game for us, even with the guys that he has around him. So I think that you do that as soon as, like I'm saying, like if Scotty Barnes, if Precious, if Fred, if Gary, all these guys are just sitting it and then all of a sudden they're cleared, they're going to fly them to Cleveland immediately and get them there. If they can fly Vince Carter from his graduation to a game from North Carolina to Toronto for that, they're going to do this between Toronto and Cleveland. Oh, yeah, we'll send Pascal down to Cleveland in a heartbeat and put him in that lineup right away. Oh yeah. If he's going to get cleared and this can happen and sometime this afternoon, pay attention to Sportsnet or stuff like that. You can come back here on this live stream. I'll put it in the comments as things change before the game. If you want to just stay up to date, because I do that sometimes. I'll change things that we speculate. I do the stream in the morning, and sometimes things change just even in the hour after. Like the game was postponed right as soon as I did the Chicago preview the other day. The game got postponed like a half an hour after I finished the live stream. So things change like really quick. Let's see. I remember when people would complain about one injured player. I know. We don't realize how good we have it in some ways and sometimes and stuff like that. So like, it really is such a crazy next man up mentality right now. Like this is beyond the whole philosophy of next man up. This is like next league up right now. It's like NBA, we need to bring the G League up as a next league up. It's like it's that level right now. It's so fucking crazy. Okay, yeah, they need to rethink COVID protocols for sure. They do. They're talking about shortening the time between like coming and clearing in and out, kind of similar to what the NFL's been doing with what they do and stuff like that. Because I'm sure the NFL, because it's so oriented around Sunday, they probably were like, well, if you get on COVID protocols on Monday after the game, well, you should be able to get through them in 5 days so that you can be ready again on the next Sunday, with their weekly schedule. It's a little different for them. So they probably tried to shorten the window. Well, apparently the NBA is trying to get that same kind of setup for us with the basketball players. And that would be good because the shorter time periods and stuff like that, they don't want to sacrifice safety. But I think they're being overly safe in some areas also in some ways. But I hate this crap too, Alistair. This whole thing sucks. This pandemic has changed the world in so many different fucked up, horrible ways. Like, I just want to go to basketball games. I just want to live my life. People want to go out and enjoy themselves. They want to see their family. They want to do all this kind of stuff. And it's just really been a hard couple of years now. And, it's going to be tough still for a little bit. I think that the COVID problems of the NBA are going to be a problem for at least 2 more years after this. And that we're going to it may be just like little small outbreaks here and there at some point. But it's something the NBA really does need to change and think about their rules for next year. And they probably should still change the rules a bit this year still. So and I like what we're talking about, expanded rosters. I think that's important. The advantage Cavs have is Rubio and Love, 2 vets. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Looking at who they have on their list and who we have on our list, they have those 2 vets. But honestly, they're kind of a problem for them also. Like, Love is really in a weird stage of his career. Sure, he could show up and sometimes be like Minnesota Kevin Love, where he's a kind of a threatening with the 20-point game and like a 15-rebound game like he used to. And he still is capable of doing that. But also, these guys are old. Ricky Rubio is really crafty and good, but he's not necessarily as good as he was with Utah or other teams that he's been on before. He's different. That's part of the reason why he's a backup. So in a way, if that's their guys, they're also kind of I don't know. It is something that I thought about. I was like, well, they got Love and Rubio, but in a way, that's also maybe a problem for them too. I don't know if this sounds weird, but to me, they're an advantage, but also a disadvantage. Because Kevin Love's old team, when he was the figurehead on Cleveland, was a horrible Cleveland Cavs team. Like when it was just him and he was running the show and he's basically him, they lose. They lose a lot. And they lost the Celtics in the first game with all these guys missing. So I could see this happening where they're going to lose just because they don't have their talent isn't as good as we think it is. Like with all the guys that they have out right now, their talent is kind of like shallow like ours, and it's really going to be who's going to overachieve. And that's why I want these G League guys to really come in hungry, like really hungry. All right, Starscream. The Cavs still have Mobley and all those guys out, right? Yeah, the Cavs have basically Rubio, Markkanen, Love, Garland. They have those guys, but they don't have Mobley. They don't have Allen. They don't have Sexton. They don't have Osman. They don't have a lot of their regular rotation. Like I think Okaro's still out. He might be a game time decision. So it's gonna be that's why I'm feeling better about this game than Chicago, because Chicago had DeMar and Vucevic and some really good players still involved. And Cleveland to me is like suspect. They're suspect. Like we could have this feel good Kevin Durant with all my scrubs on my Nets kind of feeling kind of game in this game tonight, especially if Pascal makes a miraculous Willis Reed show up all of a sudden and say, I'm playing. And then boom, we're rolling with Pascal leading us. So that would be huge. Like if we could get Pascal back somehow, some way this afternoon, that would really help us a lot. Let's see. Kenny, Nick Nurse love coaching bursts. I'm not exactly understanding exactly what you're saying, Kenny, but Nick Nurse is going to be there. He's going to be coaching. Like I said, he has a skeleton staff. He doesn't have everybody he normally travels with him. I think he's leaving like some coaches behind, some support staff that normally like would be with them, but maybe they have families and they want to, they're thinking about different kind of things with the COVID and the pandemic and travel. So it's like they're sending the people that are like, yeah, we can get away with sending you. Or if you get stuck in the States for quarantine or something like that, that's no big deal. That's the way they're kind of thinking right now. So a lot of the staff that doesn't have, and they're not players or anything, aren't even traveling with the team because of these kind of concerns. It's really, really a strange time. COVID games are so dramatic. Yeah, they are in some ways. They're dramatic. They're dramatic to see who's going to be there. They're dramatic in some, they give players that wouldn't have opportunities a chance to be like something else and more in some ways. It's very interesting. Darren, they might need to let people play sick or not. Jeez, I hope not. I don't think they'll do that. I don't think it'll ever get to that point. I think that they're really trying to balance it as well as they can. Like, they want to keep playing. They don't want a complete shutdown, and they don't want to postpone games, but they will if they absolutely have to. And that situation happened on Wednesday, and it could happen again today. Like, honestly, if one of our guys, because we have the minimum 8, one of our guys can't play tonight, then the game's postponed. That's automatically how it'll happen. Is if we don't have 8 players, we don't have 4 of our regular guys, then they'll postpone the game before the game even happens tonight. And we don't want that in a way, but in a way, maybe we do. So it's kind of like, let's play the best thing for whatever happens with this situation. We play the game, great. We get to watch some basketball. We don't play the game, great, because we didn't have our best team and we're probably going to lose. And it's kind of unfair in that kind of way. So it's like, we got to look at the bright side of either way of how today could go. So if we play and we lose, I'm okay with that because I want to see us play and I want to see what happens. Let's see. Darren, ridiculous given no one is in real health danger, all boosted and 2 times vax. Yeah, that's an interesting view of looking at it. That's true. But once again, the whole thing with this pandemic isn't necessarily like dire worry that you're going to die or it'll kill you. It's about containing the variants and the different things about COVID that we can't control. Humankind wants to control things. So if we can't control something and it's out of control, even if it's not totally killing everybody, it may kill some people, They want to be able to get it under wraps. And that's really the main part of all this, is getting it under wraps as much as they can. And I think you're right. In some ways, most people, if they get it at this point, they'll be healthy and they'll be fine. But there are other things where you worry about lingering side effects and things. And like I brought up the whole Pandora's box thing, where you could get it and it could unlock some sort of underlying health issue that you didn't know you had. And it could make your life a lot different afterwards. Because there are long-term people that are suffering from effects after the fact for a while since, and there's different stuff like that. But I totally get what you're saying. These, like Darren, you're saying they're young and super healthy. That it's true. Like, I understand what you're saying, and that's part of LeBron's really tone deaf, dumb tweet this week about the Spider-Man saying, "You're the flu, you're the cold, you're the COVID," and they're all pointing at each other. That Spider-Man meme, and people have come down hard on him for that kind of thing, because I don't know. It's such a weird time, and you don't know what to totally trust and expect. But I do know that it's real. People have died from it, and that we just want to get control of it and try and get things under wraps as best as we can. But yeah, also, I'm sure some of the players are sitting at home. They feel exactly fine, and they're like, "What is this bullshit? This is stupid. I should be practicing and playing." And I'm sure that there's a lot of players that are thinking that when they're sitting at home and contact tracing right now. So. Let's keep going. Andrew, NBA should switch to 3-on-3 during COVID. That's the big three, though, man. They may have a marketing copyright on that. Let's talk to JYD and all those guys who run the big three and stuff like that. They have their 3-on-3 league right now, and Charles Oakley is a coach in it or something like that. So it's like, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, that's really weird. Like, you take your three best players that you have available and you put them out there. So who would he have tonight? We'd have like Chris Boucher, Yuta Watanabe, and Svi or something, or Delano, and then you stub one guy in. You play 3-on-3. That's a really interesting idea, but I think that would kind of mess up a lot of things with the stats and the way that the NBA is run and stuff like that. I don't know. Let's keep going. Kenny, Michael Jordan had one of his best games having COVID. I didn't know that. Okay, now see, you're kind of making the joke about the whole thing with the meme right there. Okay, you're talking about the Utah game when he was sick and he played really good against the Jazz. That I get your joke and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. All right, I'm a fun guy. Close contact should only be like 5 days. Positive test should stay 10 days. Yeah, I think that's probably similar to what they're doing right now already. So I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Darren, he was hungover, not the flu. MJ, that's didn't we learn that from the Last Dance? Like when that came out on Netflix, Michael Jordan's talking about that game. Wait, didn't he say that they sent him a pizza and it made him sick? Like he ate a pizza and they got food poisoning. I think that's what he said he got. That like a fan for Utah sent, like they sent the pizza from the place and it had grossness on it and it got him stomach flu, and then that made him sick. I don't think it was that he was drunk. I don't think it was. There was something about that kind of. I don't remember. Anyway, we're talking about Michael Jordan. This is like 20 years ago, guys. Come on. I'm a fun guy. For some reason, our bench and G League guys play elite under Nick Nurse. Yeah, they play better for him than they do Mutombo, it seems like, on the G League. Because, like, honestly, the G League, they look like pretty shite for most of the games, the 12 games they played so far this season. But when they get called up, Bonga plays like out of his mind or something like that. So it'll be interesting. Champagny was another one of those guys that got put on COVID protocol yesterday. He was just hurt. So we had 3 guys go on COVID protocol yesterday and 1 come off. And that's not the numbers we want to see. So we got less guys yesterday net with Delano coming back and then losing Bonga, Champagny, and Birch. Birch went on there too. Let's see. I'm a fun guy. People fear what they don't understand, hate what they can't conquer. Yeah, this whole thing is so weird and crazy. I mean, I don't want to get into semantics of it. I'm going to err on the side of caution just because I can afford to. But other people, I understand if they don't believe some of this shit or they think that this is overblown and stuff like that, and they want to make their own life choices and do different things, I understand. But the NBA in some ways is liable on an overall whole level. and they have to treat things a little more carefully in some ways. But there is a little bit of a conspiracy theory mind in my head about how these things get doled out and how they could happen. But I like to think that this is just happening like the way it's happening, that they are testing people and they're getting positives and they have to sit and all this kind of stuff. And there isn't anything nefarious about it. But hopefully this is just this period of time. And in some ways, we should count our blessings that it happened over the Christmas break where there's a little bit more extra time over. We've got these games postponed. And hopefully we can just get all this period of this kind of shit out of the way for the whole season right now. And then when these guys start coming back, we just start rolling and we just really get into the season again. That it sucks. But in a way, they got to play like a preseason, a long part of the season already, kind of learning and building synergy and teamwork with each other. And now when they come back, they're going to be energized. They'll have a familiarity with each other already to a degree. And who knows, we could come back and see a really fresh Raptor team that kicks a lot of ass. But also we could see if they have had COVID and have been dealing with it, what happened last year, where Fred and some of the guys just didn't have the same kind of ability that they did after the COVID because they were physically dealing with issues still with wind and fatigue and stuff like that. So hopefully none of this is going to happen with any of these guys, that they just have no symptoms. They're feeling like really mild cases if they have it, and they'll come back and they'll be perfectly fine when they come back. Because this is part of it too that we have to wonder and worry about. So let me see. Tom Duke, how do we know they are all vaxxed? They aren't. League reports 95%. Okay. Not everyone in the NBA is vaxxed. That's true. And the 95% of the league is vaxxed, but 100% of the Raptors are vaxxed. Before the season started, every single one of us, our players, was double vaxxed, and I'm sure a bunch of them had their boosters also. So our team, I know for a fact. In fact, our team, not only our team, but our whole support staff, they were saying that the Raptors organization was 100% fully vaxxed at the beginning of the season. So I can honestly say that about our team, but I can't say that for every single other team out there. Obviously Kyrie's not vaxxed, and John Wall, I don't think is vaxxed still either. So that's where it is right there, is you've got a couple of players that still aren't vaxxed. They're still getting to play in different ways and stuff like that. But the Raptors are 100% for sure. I'm a fun guy. That LeBron Spider-Man tweet was dirty. I'd knock him out for that. This is the thing. These guys don't realize how influential they are on the world. And, it's one thing for you to have skepticism on your own personally, but don't throw it out there just in case, because you may make somebody make a bad decision in their own personal life because of that. And then they fuck around and they're dead on a ventilator or something like that. And there's a lot of that happening right now with the skeptics, the people that don't believe in it. They're ending up dead. They're ending up in bad health condition in different ways. And if that isn't enough to show right there that maybe we need to be a little more serious, the people that are being skeptics and are having issues are having like major issues or just plain dying, then, that's what I'm talking about. He influences children. He influences young people. People look up to him. So when he says stuff, it carries a lot of weight. And that's why he needs to be a little, maybe more responsible. Don't say anything at all. If you have your own personal feelings about this, don't say anything like that, because you can encourage things to be worse. Like Kyrie has been horrible for this so far this season. Like his leadership to the world and the people that are following him and people think that he's a hero, he's been awful for this, because that's part of the problem. That's why this is getting drowned out. This is why this shit is still going on 2 years later, is because we can't get our acts together because we have a bunch of knuckleheads out there spreading stupid shit. You don't have to spread that. Just be quiet, LeBron. You don't have to be political. Half the time you're not being political anyway on things that you should be, but you are sometimes, you aren't. The whole thing with China was bullshit. And, this is one area where maybe you should just shut the fuck up, LeBron, is the COVID stuff. You're going to cause more hurt than good with what you're doing. Let's see. Yeah, he just wants the attention. He just wants the attention, sure. Okay. These computer guys that come in here and spam, Darren, they're just more likes and looks and the more views. There's nothing problem with that. It's fine. The Russians have to keep tabs on me, right? Okay. All right, Tom Duke. So glad Raptors pushed the vaccine. Well, listen, Toronto, we're representative of the city that we play for. Is that we're progressive, intelligent, with science, smart city. And the city is acting in that kind of way. Of course, the organization and the team's going to reflect that. I mean, we're no nonsense. We're social justice warriors. We're woke. We're all kinds of stuff. We're on the forefront of the Black Lives Matter movement. We're on the forefront of, like, our fans did not want somebody on our team that possibly committed domestic assault. So we're a very conscientious team, goody two shoes team, very woke. And that we demand it. Like, if there was a player on our team that was acting like Kyrie, the whole fan nation would tell the team to ship him out. Get him the fuck out of here, because we don't want a character like that. And it's just like we have a very high standard of character on our team. And part of it is, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, let's see. So many Canadians playing tonight. Yeah, Delano. Stauskas didn't clear the COVID protocols. Him and Goodwin didn't clear the COVID protocols. That's why they're not on the team right now, because they're in contact tracing too. So they're like, well, if you can't even get contact tracing, we're not even going to sign you to the 10-day, the hardship, because what is the point? You may have the COVID exactly the same time that Fred and Gary and them have it, and then all of a sudden they're back and you're back at the same time. Well, we don't need you then. So that's unfortunate for Stauskas and Goodwin, because they had their shot. They should be coming to play today, but they're on the tracing too. And that sucks. Yeah, Stauskas is not on our team officially. He did not get signed in the last couple of days. And the reason why is I think him and Brandon Goodwin have both tested positive. And it defeats the whole point of having a hardship exemption, to have him on, to have them there, because why even sign them? They've got the same thing that the guys that they're trying to replace. So that sucks. That sucks for them. And yeah, that's what's up with them. All right, guys, let me just go over the verses tonight once more. It's going to be Delano Banton, Svi Mahalik, Yuta Watanabe, Chris Boucher, Tremont Waters, Jawan Morgan, DJ Wilson, and Daniel Oturu for the Raptors. That's a scant minimum 8 players versus Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, Lauri Markkanen, Dean Wade, Taco Fall, Kevin Love, Valentine, Kevin Pangos, Anderson, Cornette, and Scott. And Okoro is questionable. That's what we should expect tonight, unless there's a final minute addition of somebody like Pascal Siakam all of a sudden gets added for us or something like that. If they sign 2 more, they can't play still, because they have to have that. Apparently, the rule is they have to have even amount. Like, if we have 4 regular players, you can have 4 G League players. And I think that's the minimum right there. So we can't actually add another G League player on top of that, because you have to have more of your regular players, or even. You have to have even or more. So we'd have to have 5 regular players to have 5 G League players right now to have 10. I know that logic doesn't make total sense, but yeah, if Pascal showed up tonight, then maybe they could add another G League guy at the last minute also. If they have them ready and right there, that'd be great. Maybe that's what Stauskas is, or something like that. Pascal gets cleared this afternoon. He shows up for the game tonight, and then we add another G League guy right at the last second. Then we have 10 players tonight. So it could be something like that. Yeah. But we want to get Goodwin and Stauskas, but they both didn't clear COVID protocols. So like I said, what's the point of having them on the team? Yeah, I think this game might get postponed. We don't know. We'll see what happens in the next couple hours, whether we get players cleared more or some go back into it more. And, so we'll see. We're crossing our fingers, because we're all starved for some good Raptors basketball, even if it's not necessarily good Raptors basketball, but just Raptors basketball. Hopefully it'll happen. All right, guys, let's go Raptors. We got to beat the Cavs. Hopefully today, even with whatever rag-a-tag team we bring and send there, we just want to go in there and look good, and maybe something magical happens. We can actually win a game today, even with this team. Like Chris Boucher, amazing game today. A triple-double from Delano Banton, something like that. This is what we want to pre-visualize and hopefully can happen if this game happens today. Because there's no guarantees in this COVID world of anything, whether there's going to be a game played or who's going to show up or whatnot. So, all right, guys, have a great Boxing Day. This is the Canadian Boxing Day tradition of playing on Canadian Boxing Day for the Raptors. And hopefully we can get a win today. And just play. I like to see them play, but if they don't play, I see the positives in that also. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go Raptors! Let's beat the Cavs, baby! Woo! Woo!